Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how the US government is handling the economy. Now, for the most part, the government is separate from the actual US economy. It is up to the actual people of the United States, the workers, to make the money, produce the products. The government is not forcing anyone to work. The government does not tell you to work and to produce products. No one told Tesla or no one told Amazon to start a business. The government, for the most part, is out of the way from the economy. So, if you want to blame the government for a weak economy, you might be targeting the wrong person. That being said, there are certain laws that the government makes that cause people to work more, cause us to work more, any way we can. I can start a business making let me see, belt buckles. Sorry if the camera freezes. I could start a business making belt buckles and manufacturing belt buckles. The government in no way will get involved. The only time the government gets involved is if I need a license or permit to make something. Now, any business that we have, there are certain loopholes. I mean, there's certain hoops you have to go through. So the government does make it a little difficult for people to start businesses if they're not aware of what they got to do. First, you gotta file for self-employed or LLC, stuff like that, and you have to pay money yearly. That kind of gets the ball. That kind of gets you moving, so that if you start a business, you have to just. It doesn't matter what business that you start. The government don't care what business you start. You want to make a bar, you want to make a restaurant, you want to sell belt buckles, you want to sell screwdrivers, you want to manufacture screwdrivers. It does not matter. Really the government is not really involved in what you do. So to blame the government for the economy crashing is not necessarily their fault. Now, what is the government even doing then? Government is an overseer of what? It seems like the only thing that the government cares about is your taxes and money. That's the only thing it cares about, your taxes and money. And that's basically all I can think of that the government cares about. Taxes and money, revenue. That's all it wants. And the system that is in place is too difficult for one person to figure it out. Like, you cannot look at a circuit board for a printer and tell me you can figure out what each component is doing when there's millions of components. It's the same thing with the economy. There are lots of systems in place by who knows who, and who knows for what reason. A lot of systems in the economy that we cannot explain, we cannot dissect. We have no idea how to figure it out. The only thing is that this economy is actually our responsibility as citizens of the United States. Do we want to make the United States a fun place to be for everyone? Yes, we do. And no one is stopping you from doing that. As long as you follow the laws or codes that are in place and For the most part, you have a lot of liberty, but you do also have your you have a lot of liberty, but not as much as you might think. Like you can't kill or rape people. That liberty is taken away from you, and if you're caught killing and raping people, you will go to prison. If you are violent towards a person, any type of violence, you will go to prison. If you steal a certain amount of money, you will go to prison. If you default on your taxes, you'll go to prison. If you're reckless and endangering people on the streets with your vehicle, you will go to prison. So you don't have 100% pure liberty, but then again, that kind of keeps us a little safe, because if we didn't have those restrictions, it's possible that some people, like, if they don't like you, they'll just blow you away and stuff like that. But back to the economy. What I'm noticing with this whole capitalism, it's the system that is in place uh, right now. Capitalism and a little bit of socialism, and it's just a mixture of all these weird systems put together. Whatever works. There is no law. There is no law guarding capitalism. Like the government don't care if you're capitalist or communist or whatever. It does not seem like uh, like it's gonna stop you if you have a group, as long as you pay your taxes and you follow those laws, you can have your socialism in your city. Now, I'm not advocating for socialism because number one, I do not know uh, what socialism is and all that crap. I like capitalism a little bit, but there are big drawbacks to this capitalism. It crashes a lot. It's like a system that works for a small minority of people. Capitalism works for 1% of the people, and for the other 99%, they have to work their whole lives just to get by. But even with you working your whole life to get by, you're still going to have plenty of things. So, like I said, these books right here and all this crap that I got, all this junk and a house and a lot of stuff that I get for free, it's all because of capitalism. The people that printed out these books, they printed out those books to make money. Someone along the line, they bought the products, and in the future they threw them away because they used the products and it was boring for them. So as a result of capitalism, early in the 90s when they printed these books, um, there's I got free books, so I got a little bit of socialism because getting stuff for free is actually getting stuff for free is still capitalism because I capitalized on free stuff. Now the goal is to get free labor and have people work for you for free. Now, not even when they had slaves did those slave were those slaves for free. You had to feed them. You had to buy them. And in this book, Wealth of Nations, it was written in the 1700s, in the mid 1700s. The man that wrote the book is explaining that a free laborer, or a person that is free, that you hire, like an employee, is sometimes cheaper than an actual slave, because to maintain an actual slave for 24 hours is more expensive than to just pay for the labor of someone every 8 or 10 hours whenever you need it. The thing about owning a slave is that you have to keep it fed. You have to keep the slave well rested, and a lot of the times, people were losing money. Plantation owners were losing money because they had to maintain their slaves. Now, I don't know the whole history of the slavery, I'm pretty sure there was douchebag slave owners, but there was probably good. Well, you can't even say good slave owners, but it's hard to explain. But there's people that did not inhumanely treat slaves, did not treat slaves inhumanely, even though they did not pay for their stuff. I don't know. I guess they did treat them inhumanely because they paid them food for their labor and their food and board and all that junk. But I remember when I was a kid, my parents they made me clean my room and they made me cut the grass. And I say, well, are you going to give me any money or allowance for cleaning my room or cutting the grass or doing going to the groceries, helping you with that? And they say, no, we're feeding you, we're putting clothes on you, and you get to live here for free. That was essentially the definition of a slave. You got to feed, clothe, and house a slave to maintain them. Now, the way you house them, the way you feed them, what you feed them, and whatever, um, it all depends on the owner. Some people, they dress their slaves nice. Some dress them like crap. And there are some parents that they dress their children very poorly. They make them work very hard, especially Latino parents. They make you work at a young age, very hard, teaching you how to work for free. And you tell them, well, do I get any money for this? And you say, no, I bought you food. That's what you got. And I don't even get to choose what I ate. Just whatever my mother cooked, that's what we ate.